If we're being completely candid, it took me way too long to start being serious about investing my own wealth properly for my future. I was into my mid-career, and even though I knew that I should have started earlier, I was just too busy and distracted. So I just kept putting it off until finally huge tax bills hit me, and then I said to myself, now it's time. Hi, I'm Genhee So, founder of ElevateMD, and today we're going to talk about what you lose by waiting to make a financial plan. I was kind of embarrassed to start trying to figure out, well, maybe now should be the time to do it, but trying to learn about finance is a monumental task. You know, COVID didn't help either. I was already at the precipice of burnout at that point, particularly as the primary owner, and when we didn't know how COVID was going to land at that time or how it was going to play out, I started getting worried that if I didn't get a hold of my finances, and if something happened to me, then where would it leave my family? And that was the big motivator. But what if I had started sooner? And this is part of the reason why I've started ElevateMD in the first place, to tell stories and to tell tips and tricks about if you do this 10 years before, how much better off you'll be. And one hard truth that I learned is if I had started sooner, I would have taken advantage of the power of compounding. And in all the things that I've learned about finance, the number one thing that has held true, no matter what I invested in, no matter what time I started investing or how I invested, is the power of compounding. But the power of compounding only works if you have time in the compounding space. The longer you are invested, whether it be in the market, in stocks, bonds, whatever it is, the more you can take advantage of the compounding effect. I mean, we're not stupid people as physicians. We know that financial planning is important, and we know that we probably should have done it sooner than we were going to, or we know that we should do it and make that appointment and find the right people, but we don't. Why? It's so easy to shove at the bottom of your to-do list. I mean, that's what I did for how many years? Almost 10 years after I started as a staff radiologist. And it's easy to do because we make decent money. It's not like we're going to go broke if we don't find a financial advisor, and we can still earn enough to pay the bills, to go on vacation, and pay for our kids' activities. So you don't feel the pain point imminently. But kind of like exercise, if you stop paying attention to it one day, you end up in a place where you get winded after going up the top of the stairs. And it's kind of like finance. All of a sudden, one day you get hit with this big tax bill and you don't know why. And when the accountant tries to explain it to you, it just doesn't make sense. So all these big pain points about finances and the daunting reality of trying to get a hold of your finances can be overwhelming, and it feels like too much. The reason why doctors don't get a hold of their finances proactively and right away is because the language of finances to us is completely foreign. In order for us to feel good about knowing our finances, we have to understand the language, get an entire landscape of the language, of the financial field itself, and then find the right resources that are relatable and apply to us. Well, as we all know, people build their careers on doing that. I mean, those are the financial advisors, the accountants, etc. How are we supposed to learn all of that for ourselves while learning or practicing medicine at the same time? It's just not possible. And yet in med school, we don't get taught about the practicalities of practicing medicine. We get taught about medicine itself, not about how to pay our bills. Because let's face it, medicine, although sometimes it can feel like volunteer work, it's a career. And what a career means is that we get paid for it. And because most of us don't have a pension to fall back on, we have the responsibility ourselves to be able to save appropriately for our retirement. There was no book when I was studying medicine or even practicing medicine in my early years to tell me step by step effectively how to save for my future. I mean, there's books out there, but none of them felt completely relevant to me. The pain point isn't imminent. It's not in your face. It doesn't slap you upside the head. It's a silent wealth killer that just kind of lurks in the background, and it's easy to ignore. That's why we don't deal with it. it. As busy doctors, we're just trying to make it from day to day. Practice our medicine, read the hundreds of radiology reports, get back home, figure out what we're going to make for dinner, and then drive our kids to tennis or whatever activities they're doing. Make sure they've done their homework, fall asleep, reset, do the same thing the next day. So when is there time for finances? There's not. If you actually prioritize and make the time for the finances, then it's going to help you with your to-do list. Imagine having one item on your to-do list that can eliminate so many more items on your to-do list and make you happier in the end. Wouldn't you want to do it? Here are a few things that you can do to start your journey for financial planning. The first, I would say, is change your mindset. This totally worked for me. Once I changed my mindset to getting a handle on my finances and finding the right financial plan was actually part of my job as a radiologist. It changed how I prioritized and looked at financial planning. I realized that that came as a part of a package of my profession. And when you realize that that is a responsibility for your job, then you'll make time for it. You'll start learning the right resources. The other change in mindset that really helped for me is not to look at changing your financial plan or getting your financial plan in 1 hour. Don't have that expectation or put the burden on yourself to think that you have to find your right financial plan as quickly as possible. Just break it down step by step. Reward yourself for the small wins. In order to get those small wins, you have to make that first step. And you know what? That's all it takes, is just to make that first step. If I just read one article, not every day, not even every week, just one article that resonated with me and that made sense, even just doing that one little thing is going to make such a big difference. And you'll see, it'll have a rollover effect and you'll get interested and intrigued and it'll make you enthusiastic about learning a little bit more. And maybe you take that article and you ask a friend about it. And maybe they've read the article too. And maybe you've done a great thing and you've helped them get enthusiastic about learning finances too. And then you can start a conversation. This is how you're going to build your financial education. This is how you're going to find the right pathway to your financial success. Just one small step. And then you'll see, you'll find the pathway much more quickly than you ever thought you would have. There's a Chinese proverb that I like, and it goes something like this. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time to plant it is now. Don't get caught up feeling guilty that you haven't started finding your right financial plan sooner. Just do it today. And it doesn't have to be a daunting task. Once you take that small step, it'll cascade and you'll see your financial journey start to unfold before your eyes faster than you know it. I'm Dr. Genhee So, founder of ElevateMD. If you want to learn more about starting your financial pathway to success today, visit my website at drgenheeso.com. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next episode.